Hello everyone. You're going to have to excuse my hair in this video. I went swimming at a lake and then I drove home with the car windows down and then I kind of just threw it up, but it's not exactly staying up, so I'm sorry if I mess with my hair in this video. But we're not here to talk about my hair, we're here to talk about this book right here. I saw this book sitting on a shelf in Barnes & Noble and I looked at the gorgeous cover and I read the description on the inside jacket. And on a whim, I decided to buy it. Like, literally, I just dropped 14 bucks and bought this simply from seeing the cover and reading the inside jacket. And yes, for those of you who are noticing, I am in a new location. I finally got my bookshelves up and my office together. There's another bookshelf over there next to my desk. A bookshelf tour is coming. Some Kind of Happiness. That is the name of this book. It is written by Claire Legrand. I always mess up on her name for some reason. And reading from the inside jacket, I will give you a short summary of what this book is about. Basically, it's about this girl named Finley Hart and her parents are having issues. They're like on the verge of a divorce. They don't want to let her know that they're on the verge of a divorce, but Finley is 12 years old and she's very smart and she can pretty much pick up like, yeah, my parents are having issues. Because of their issues, she gets sent to her grandparents' house for the summer, which is the house on this hill here. She's never met her grandparents before because there's like this secret mystery behind all of it and like a family history. And while she's here staying with her grandparents, as well as all of her cousins, which she's never met before, she gets to escape with her cousins into the forest of the Everwood. Now the Everwood is a place Finley made up and she writes like stories about it. And she enters this world with her cousins. On top of this, it is kind of hinted at in the dust jacket, but the more you read, the more it's obvious. Our main character, Finley, has a mental illness. So yeah, that's kind of a short summary as to what this book is about. Now, the kind of book that I got is different than the book that I thought I was getting. I thought I was getting this, but instead I got this, but I actually liked this. But I think I still would have liked this. I'm not making much sense here talking with my hands, am I? Basically, it's kind of like the movie Brave. I thought this was gonna be about a girl entering another kingdom and enjoying it and then occasionally retreating back to the real world to deal with her real life problems. I thought the movie Brave was gonna be about this girl going by herself on a grand quest and defeating stuff. Brave turned out to be a really good mother-daughter film, but it wasn't what I was intending. And this turned out to be a very well-written book about a girl struggling with anxiety and depression. Like, it's very obvious that's what's happening. And while she does enter this world, she doesn't fully leave. Like, it's kind of magical realism. Basically, Finley, the main character, goes into the woods and she pretends that she's in this world with her cousins, and her cousins play along because they're really good sports and they actually really get into like the game. Basically, this isn't really a magical story that I thought it was. It wasn't really much of a fantasy. It's kind of like kids playing make-believe, but it's really intense and you kind of want to believe that they're in this world, kind of like Terabithia. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys be aware of that coming in. If you think that she's fully entering a different plane of reality, that's not really what's happening. She's kind of entering this world in her mind with her friends and they're playing games and there's these boys across the river they're not supposed to talk to, but they end up kind of making friends with them, and it's a really good book. It's really good fun, and the most important thing I think was dealing with the mental illness. I mean, it was pretty obvious to me at least that it was anxiety and depression. She doesn't know what to call it because when you're 12 years old, you don't really understand like your emotions just yet. She doesn't really know what depression or anxiety is, and that she doesn't really think that anxiety and depression is something that she would have. Like, she tries to rationalize with herself. Our main character, she's 12 years old, she tells herself like, my life is fine, I'm not in any mortal danger, like why am I feeling this way? Why am I so sad that I can't get out of bed and do anything? Why does my heartbeat and adrenaline go so much that I just feel so much fear I can't move? Like, she is actually really intensely ill, I would say, in this book. There's some days where she has to lie because she just can't get out of bed. She'll be in bed for like 24 hours, this 12-year-old girl. And the inner psychologist in me just wonders like, okay, is this something she was born with? Or was this caused by the recent breakage of her parents? Is that something that kind of triggered like the chemical imbalance, or what is this? I'm very interested in mental illnesses. I don't think we'll ever really know what causes it. Like, some people just have it, some people it's triggered over life happenings. I just am always curious between people's past. Like, was it really her parents? Was she born with it? What happened? Did nothing happen? Was it genetics? I'm just interested. You know, we'll never really know. Maybe one day we will with science and all that stuff, but I found it interesting. And honestly, her journey from beginning to finish coming to terms with like, yes, this is real, these are the problems she has, was just amazing. So yeah, that's basically a very short summary of this book. I need to fix my hair, it's bothering me. Long hair and the summer problems. I can't ever get it all off my neck. So yeah, that's basically my really quick summary of Some Kind of Happiness. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the book now, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. So if you wanna stick around and hear some more of my thoughts, go ahead. But there won't be any spoilers. I love the cast of characters. I love family books. I love when there's like a whole bunch of cousins hanging out and then grandparents and like family history. That just interests me. Probably because I'm not close to any of my cousins, and I just would love the idea to have a bunch of people who are kind of related, like your siblings, but kind of aren't, and you get to like go off and do things with them. It's like best friends that you're related to and you don't see all the time. The grandmother was an interesting character. You kind of wavered back and forth between loving and hating this woman. You can see her reasoning for some of these things, even if you don't agree with them. Like there's points where I just wanted to strangle the grandmother and kill her, and then there's points where I realized she's an actual human being. Her aunts were interesting. I like that they were actually dimensional and not just like flat characters. I could have gone for some better character development with the cousins. Like, I wish they would have had more of a role, and I wish you would have gotten to know them more. But this is really focusing on Finley and her illness. And what you do get of the cousins is wonderful. They have wonderful personalities. I love it when she gets to spend time with them. I really love Avery. I like knew immediately when she was hesitant to talk to her, and yet she tried to talk to her and then couldn't, you know, because she's there like most of the summer and she's a teenager. And I just love the bond that they had with her driving her to her psychiatrist appointments, and that they just kind of had a small understanding of each other. I'm a person who works with children, and I just like the idea of teenagers being able to reach out and to empathize with children younger than them. And not just in like, oh, I'm babysitting and being nice to you, but to make like actual connections. It's wonderful. Her parents were also very interesting, very unique and different personalities. The mom does seem like she might be the one who wants to break away more than the dad, but I'm not entirely sure. I feel like the dad really can't handle the mom and is kind of giving up on her, and then she feels like she's being given up upon, and so she just wants to break away. And they both love their daughter to death. Like, they love Finley so much, but I don't know. There's a part of me that was hoping that they could stay together at the end of the novel, but at the same time, I feel like it wouldn't be realistic. Like, it would be too happy of an ending. You know, I believe in marriages and I want them to succeed, but with the way the story was going, I feel like it would have been too happy, and it was honestly the more realistic choice to have them split up. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. I very, very much love this book. I love the characters, I love the family, I love the setting. I do love the Bailey boys. That's another one. I feel like they could have used a little bit more character time and development, but once again, this is like a 380-page book and it isn't the focus, but I feel like they were very substantial. So yes, pick up this book definitely if it interests you. I think it's a wonderful summer read. Just another book that just captures like the wonderfulness in childlikeness, just the wonder of summer and being a kid and going somewhere new for the first time, and it's just beautiful. So yes, my name is Josie. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.